was just sitting down with some of my friends, and a lot of us are Latino immigrants, first generation, and some of them are like it's the second generation, but they have Latin heritage. You know, they have like a father from Ecuador or like a mom from Colombia or whatever. And it just dawned on me, like, why are people not paying attention to what's going on in Latin America, and also the quality of Latino immigrants that are coming to North America, to the United States and Canada? And so in this video, what I want to talk to you about is why you need to be paying close attention to Latin America and Latinos in North America, because I strongly believe that Latin America is a sleeping giant, and this ethnic group has the potential to dominate the whole continent of America in the next upcoming years. So keep watching, because I want to tell you why I feel that way. What's going on, everybody? It's your man Chris here again with another video for Bad Hombres TV. In this channel, I'm gonna teach you everything I can so that you too can become a bad hombre yourself. I'm gonna get my best friend, my most loyal companion. Her name is Faye. I'm gonna let her tell you guys the first reason why I feel that way. Go ahead, Faye.
Reason number one, Latinos are a resilient and determined group.
Many Latin American immigrants face countless challenges before setting foot on American soil. No one happy in their home country decides to leave everything to try their luck in another part of the world.
So why are Latin American immigrants abandoning their countries against their will?
Even though Latin America is a region rich in natural resources, its rulers keep its inhabitants below the poverty line. Look at what is happening in Venezuela or Cuba, where people live worse than in a war-torn country. However, the true wealth of Latin America is found in its people and work culture. You will never see a Latin American immigrant slack off at work because they know their family depends on them. These people face language barriers and racism and have to adapt to a culture totally different from their own in record time. Think of all the people who believe that Latin Americans are coming to America to steal jobs from Americans.
You know, it's funny when you think about it. The whole joke, you know, they took our jobs. They took our jobs. You know, South Park back in the day. They took our jobs. That was directly towards Latinos, because especially Mexicans, because they used to go and they will do whatever it takes. I mean, they will do the jobs nobody wanted to do.
If we travel back in time, we can see that people also migrated from one city to another in Roman times, but that didn't stop the empire's growth. In fact, it boosted it. Just as people are coming to America to work, some other people are leaving America to work in other countries. However, politicians need citizens to fight among themselves so that no one pays attention to corruption.
Here's another reason for you, Chris. They are hardworking and want to be part of America.
So let's make one thing clear. Latin Americans came to America to bring their work ethic. They have grown up with economic hardship and will do whatever it takes to succeed. Think of how successful most people would be if they stopped saying what they would do and just did it. That is exactly what Latin American immigrants are doing. Whether you have a business or are considering starting one, I assure you that you will not find a harder working community. These people want their children to have a better future, and they know they can only get it by working far from home, without friends and family to depend on when financial difficulties arise, and that's why they work tirelessly.
They are a close-knit community.
Yes, they are, Faye. And by the way, you're getting really good at this.
Thanks, Chris. I learned from the best. Can I get some treats now?
100% I'm gonna get you some treats, Faye. But here's the thing, for everybody watching, I wanna get you guys some treats as well. So if you stick around to the end of the video, Faye is gonna show you her favorite trick. Right, Faye?
Only if they hit that like button and subscribe for more cool content like this.
Latin American communities are also characterized by strong family ties. One family member commonly emigrates to another country alone to facilitate the arrival of the rest of their loved ones. That spirit of sacrifice is why so many Latin American immigrants thrive in every industry they work in. Look at what US Latinos did in 2021 when they reached the 5th largest GDP in the world. If they were unified under one flag, they would form one of the largest countries in the world. Fortunately, we are on your side, helping the economy grow.
They have an entrepreneurial spirit.
Latin American immigrants also possess an entrepreneurial spirit. In 2020, they accounted for 36% of new businesses in the United States. But that's not all. This ethnic group starts companies at twice the rate of the country's population, and that is no coincidence. Why do you think governments seek to attract immigrants? Because they know they need them. Let's imagine that the United States stopped all immigration from Latin America. Who would build the roads we travel or the houses we live in? Who would take care of us when we were sick? And who would risk their lives so that we could have internet in our homes? And most importantly,
Who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
If Latin American immigrants left the country, America would no longer be America. We depend on its workers as much as we depend on air or water. No robot or artificial intelligence can replace the skills of a licensed carpenter, electrician, or gas fitter. However, Latin Americans not only possess the skills we need, they are also hungry for success, which makes them excellent salespeople.
And don't take my word for it, because the reason why I'm able to make a good living, it's because I'm leveraging the work ethic of the people down south. You know, their skills, the education. You know, you look around Canada, United States of America, people don't really want to work these days. Hey, I'm here to tell you that's what it is. That's what I'm hearing. And I build the whole business based on that need, the need of people that want to work. And so what I'm doing with my company, CRM Genius, is I'm outsourcing. You know, I come into businesses and I plug in these remote workers from Colombia, from Argentina, from Mexico, you name it. And we crush it every single time. So on a side note, if you're interested in working with me in my call center full of sales savages, please book a call in the description down below.
They believe in the American dream more than Americans themselves.
Don't forget the Canadian dream too, Faye, because I am in Canada. And let me tell you, despite everything that's going on, I believe that this still is one of the best countries in the world right now today. If you think about it, nothing is unattainable in this country. Nothing.
Believe it or not, we Latinos believe in the American dream more than Americans themselves. Let me prove it. Some surveys conducted by institutions such as the Pew Research Center have found that immigrants tend to be more optimistic about their economic opportunities in the United States than native-born Americans. The research showed that second-generation immigrants tend to outperform their parents regarding education and economic attainment, reflecting this ethnic group's belief in the American dream. This does not mean that Latin American immigrants are more capable than U.S. citizens. Their success is due to their active pursuit of opportunities. I want to emphasize the word actively because it is key to success in any business. To be successful, you must be proactive. Latin American immigrants have a sense of urgency that drives them to achieve great things. It's hard to be a procrastinator when you only have a month to get a job or go home empty-handed.
They believe in education.
Although Latinos face dozens of challenges, such as language barriers and economic limitations, they turn these crises into opportunities. Many of these immigrants end up learning a second or even third language, which allows them to communicate with many more people than if they only knew how to speak English. They also deeply value education, even working a second job to send their children to college. These extra efforts allow them to break the cycle of poverty and buy their own property in just a few years. They do not have it much easier than Americans themselves, as they have to work twice as hard to have what others were born with, but they believe in meritocracy, and that's why they are becoming an unstoppable force.
Why should you hire people from Latin America?
Now, that is a really good question, Faye. That's the whole premise of the video. Why should you hire people from Latin America? Or why should you hire people in Latin America? So I'm going to tell you why.
As you can see, there are hundreds of reasons to hire Latin American immigrants. They are hardworking, loyal, and most importantly, they are ambitious. Give a fishing rod to a man with a full stomach, and he will bring you a fish. Give a rod to a hungry man, and he will catch the whole ocean for you. Latin American immigrants are sweeping the job market because they have a lot of responsibility on their shoulders. That makes them one of the best workforces you'll ever hire. But let's focus on a much more practical advantage. Most of this ethnic group speaks 2 languages. Therefore, they could help you communicate with more potential customers than if you only had employees who only spoke 1 language. Today, the Hispanic population in the United States represents 19.1% of the total population, making them the largest racial or ethnic minority in the country. This is equivalent to 63.7 million people.
For your reference, the total population of Argentina is only 46 million. That's crazy.
What is the future of Latin America?
Well, Faye, what is the future? I mean, things are changing very rapidly.
After numerous attempts by socialist and communist governments, the population of these countries is starting to wake up.
You just have to look at what's happening in Argentina with Javier Milei, in El Salvador con Nayib Bukele. Come on, man. You gotta look at what's going on. You have to. You can't be ignoring what's going on, bro. It's impossible.
Little by little, they are beginning to embrace the ideas of freedom and abandon what led them to misery. So, what do you think will happen once Latin America breaks its constant cycle of economic crisis? They won't need the US anymore, so Americans will have to fend for themselves. In fact, if things don't change quickly in the US, they may be the ones who will have to immigrate to Latin America.
But that's a topic for another video because, hey, for you guys that are looking at Latinos some type of funny way here in the United States or Canada, guess what, you passport bros? We see you just the same way with the same eyes. So that might be the topic of the next video. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. And how we say in Spanish, lo prometido es deuda. So I'm going to show you Faye's favorite trick right here, right now. Subscribe, like, share, leave your comments down below. And hey, I'm just here to help everybody. And hopefully you too can become a bad hombre. Thank you.